Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Machedo is the best.
Hi there, Machedo. Speaking to you from Machedo.com. Who's Machedo? Think personal branding. Okay, you must have heard about that Emirates Airlines plane that the tire exploded and the fuselage got damaged. So I was actually searching for an article that I could actually speak something different, not just it got damaged, it landed safely, and there was no problem. The thing is, because Emirates is part of Dubai and part of the UAE, they want to keep a clean cut image that it's absolutely safe, which is totally understood. But then it's always good to get a perspective from another newspaper. So this one is an online link. I'm reading it, and I'll put the link down below. You can see it maybe this side. So it says Euronews.travel, Euronews.com. So it says an Emirates plane flew for 14 hours with a large hole in its side. This expert explains how. Okay, so when you go down, they show the photograph of the airplane, the exploded tire, and the fuselage. The hole in the body is pretty big. Had it gone a little bit higher, where the passengers were, I think the plane, like you see in the movies, the pressure is uneven, people get sucked out, a disaster could have taken place. Thankfully, nothing happened. Okay, it just hit the bottom side of the plane. And so anyway, this is what it says. A plane that flew for 14 hours with a large hole in its side is a 1 in a million case, according to one aviation expert. Passengers on the Emirates flight from Dubai to Brisbane were shocked to see the damage when they disembarked on Friday, 1st of July. The airline said that the hole was created when the Airbus 380, A380 is, it's a really big ass plane, okay? Its 22 tire burst shortly after taking off. No passengers were injured, and the flight EK430 was able to complete its journey as per plan. The incident is highly unusual. Dr. Johannes Boroh, a former commercial pilot and senior lecturer in aviation studies at London Kingston University, tells Euronews Travel. It's 1 in a million probably case. It's something that we don't see every day. One passenger from the flight, called Patrick, told Australia's Courier Mail that he heard an alarming noise around 45 minutes into the flight. There was a loud bang, and I felt it through the floor as well. The cabin crew remained calm, stopped the food service, and got on the phone and checked the wings and tires. On approach to Brisbane Airport, the crew informed air traffic controllers that they would need emergency services on landing. The Aviation Herald, which covers aviation incident reports. Okay, one thing is, you have to give kudos to the cabin crew and the pilot for taking it really cool, calm, and composed. Now, I'm not too sure whether if you have a damage on a part of the plane that as a whole, does it show in the sensor? Unless, of course, it's the engine, because if it's engine or electric circuitry, then it shows. That's as far as I know. Maybe I can be wrong. But if it, a part of the plane that is the fuselage, I think some damage takes place. I don't think they are able to figure that part out. You can correct me if you know any better. So why did the Emirates flight continue after the bang? It's a kind of incident to send shivers down the spine of a nervous flyer. Some commuters on social media have even questioned why the crew decided to press on after detecting a fault. But from the pilot's perspective, Dr. Boroh explains, if there is no indication showing up on the systems, they can't do much. The damage occurred to the part of the plane's aerodynamic fairing, the outer panel or skin of the aircraft. At no point did it have any impact on the fuselage, frame, or structure of the aircraft, Emirates stated. Not too convincing, but then again, I'm not a pilot. But one thing I can tell you is, had it been somewhere in the passenger side, because if you see the photograph of the article, or you can get a photograph. The passengers' windows are here and the hole is here somewhere down. So it would have been a different story had the dent been made in a compartment where air is pressurized. That, of course, then it's like the typical Hollywood movies. Emirates Airbus, then it seems there's a Twitter A380 A6 EVK departed RWY 3030L at Dubai OMD, whatever all this is. After landing, a large hole was seen on the left fuselage, allegedly coming from the detached bolt in the nose gear. So the hole is pretty big, I would say that. Okay, if you hear a loud bang as pilot, first things first, the cabin crew will stop and inspect, taking a look outside the aircraft, says Dr. Boroh. In this case, of course, they couldn't see anything because the hole was beneath them. There are no cameras trained on this part of the plane and no sensors to check for holes. Like I said, with visual checks and indicators showing no issues, the pilot didn't have any cause to be overly concerned. But, I'm just thinking if in case the hole expanded or, you never know, you never know. Maybe cracks could appear and just like a glass or something. But then again, maybe aircrafts are not made that way. A third check they are likely to have made is contacting Dubai airport to see if any part of the plane was lost during takeoff. This is something that tends to happen. I've seen some documentaries before a plane flies, after a plane lands or something. They always conduct some kind of inspection, especially in military aircrafts. When they land every day in the morning, it seems all the crew members, you might have seen in, I think, Maverick. Yeah, they walk together and they literally check for even a small little pin or something can cause a problem. Okay, so but reports indicate the runways were clear of debris. Passengers would have experienced a noisier flight than normal, but were not in any danger, according to the Aviation Academic. Well, I suspect the wind in the aircraft. He draws a stark contrast with Aloha Airlines flight in 1988 when an explosion decompressed tore the roof and the sides from the fuselage, killing one flight attendant. Well, thankfully, nothing has happened. Even just for news headlines, you wouldn't want people to get hurt because they are human beings and their families. The tragic incident changed the way Boeing 737s were made, with an extra outer layer of skin added and led to tighter safety checks. In fact, it's a known fact that the safest travel in the world is an aircraft. You have more chances of dying with day-to-day normal transport, even with a cycle or a car, but not an aircraft, because the aircrafts, they are made in such a way that even if the pilot something happened to them, a normal lay person can even drive and operate the aircraft. Obviously, you'll need instructions, and the flight check, safety check, and everything is absolute. They have a checklist. That's I've had customers who have pilots. They said they have a checklist which makes it pretty impeccable. So in response to Friday's technical fault, Emirates added, the fairing has been completely replaced, checked and cleared by engineers, Airbus and all relevant authorities. The safety of our passengers and the crew has always been our top priority. Okay, thankfully nothing happened, which is good for everyone. I remember this is maybe the second incident that took place, I think before COVID, there was a airplane that, a pilot, because of, I don't know, some communication error or some technical glitch, they flew really down below in the city and it would have crashed into one of the towers. But Emirates Airlines did a really good job in trying to cover up that incident. I think the flight attendant, the pilot was an Ethiopian lady or something, was taken to task, and it was reported by some of the news channels, but none in the Middle East papers, especially in UAE. So anyway, I thought this was worth sharing because this is something that doesn't happen regularly. Let me know your thoughts, and if you are a pilot or if you're working or you have some knowledge about flights and all that, do share put your comments and thoughts down below. Obviously, I know some of you will have anonymous accounts, but it's always good to hear from your side. So having said that, this is me signing off. You guys take care. Ciao. Bye.